Welcome to the Last Co-op Podcast, your source of all things nerd and pop culture related, all in one place. And this is episode number 31, and we have Robert Jenkins back from the Nerdy Reads podcast, and we figured we'd have him back on for they have a section where they try disgusting foods on the Nerdy Reads podcast. So we figured we'd start the episode off with the terrifying Whopper churro fries and milkshake from Burger King. And we're going to let Robert Jenkins give us the review of the milkshake, and Travis has the Whopper, and Jake and I will have our stomachs later. So we will see how this turns
Look,
out.
boys. Good luck.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm afraid.
Is it?
Oh, he's got the crown. Da-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na.
These fantastic glasses I got from Burger King for eating every item off the fiery menu.
Really?
Oh, they still give
Burger
out
King
stuff?
lifer.
Yeah, so when you had when they had the fiery menu, if you ate every item, they sent you these Guy Fieri ass glasses, and I had to have them. So I ordered every single item off that menu. You had to do it like within a span of 3 days. So I ate a lot.
Yeah, I missed it. I did it, but I didn't get my prize.
And then
Did you-
I tried to
did you
get the
have
purple Whopper.
proof
No
of
go.
this?
Yeah, you had to do it on the app. And it
Oh.
had like a battle pass style like check mark when you completed the quest, and the quest was like diarrhea.
Fun fact: I've never used one of the apps for the restaurants. I'm
Huh?
just lazy. I'm just lazy, and I either go or it's just DoorDash there.
You're the
I
guy I hate
How'd you-
behind Chick-fil-A. Every time I get in line at Chick-fil-A, I'm like, they have the same thing, and I'm always behind the dude who's like, let me see a
No.
menu.
No, I get the same thing almost every time
Hey,
I go.
You got to keep those
anywhere.
glasses on the whole time.
I don't know if I can. My Wednesday Addams hat, since they didn't have the purple Whopper at my Burger King, I'm used to being let down by Burger King.
You think they didn't have it, or you think they sold out?
No, I straight up tried. I bargained, and then I was like, "Hey, man, since you don't have the purple Whopper, can I get those Adam Family toys? Like, can I just buy them?" He's like, "No, you need to buy a Happy Meal." I was like, "Bro, can I just get Uncle Fester?" Got Uncle Fester. What's up? So that man hooked me up with Uncle Fester. I have the churro fries and the Morticia shake because they didn't have the purple Whopper.
The shake machine was broke at the one I went to.
Oh, word. I'm going to try the shake first. It's got some purple crumblies on it. We do a segment on Nerdy Reads podcast, like Tyler mentioned, called New Stuff Cafe. We don't just review books. We review food, beverages. We take recommendations. If there's something out there you want us to try, we'll try anything once.
I
So
don't think I can
this-
eat this.
Is this going to be on the Nerdy Reads podcast, or are you skipping?
We were going to do it, but I was like, look, I'm doing it on the Last Co-op podcast. So we're
I
going
don't
to.
think I can do this.
Was it
So
not
does it-
good?
Does it taste different
The
than a
bun is
normal
hard and
Whopper?
it smells really, really bad of potato.
It's a sweet potato like blend in the
I hate sweet potatoes.
Oh,
should've researched.
what? Sweet potatoes in the bag.
He said,
yeah,
I
purple
should-
sweet potato.
He said, I should have read.
Swiss cheese. No,
Not
You
good.
got this.
you got to eat the whole
Oh,
thing. I need to know what it does.
Oh.
Don't count. For audio listeners, Travis does not like
Cut.
it. The Morticia shake is a chocolate shake with like some cookies in it. And growing up, Morticia I always thought had a dumpy, so I would definitely try her shake. So I had to get that. It is solid. These churro fries, I'm a little afraid.
Milkshake is solid.
The milkshake's solid. I mean, it tastes like a milkshake. You know what I mean? If you like chocolate milk, a little bit cold, a little frozen.
Choking on a purple bun. What did you say about Morticia?
She had a dumpy, dude. Bounce a quarter off that thing.
Oh, Jesus.
I definitely wanted that shake. Oh, these churro fries these are good. Like, I would never buy them again because it was like $4 and they didn't come in any part of the meal. So I will never go back and get them, but they're good. I'm going to dip them in the shake now.
The chicken fries that they have at Burger King are actually really good too.
Oh, yeah.
You know
I
what?
like those, and I like the nacho fries from Taco Bell. I know some people think they're absolutely disgusting, but I think they're good.
Yeah, I finished that whole churro fry and I had my regrets. I rescind my review. Weird aftertaste on the churro fry. They gave me a chocolate dipping sauce.
Oh, that doesn't
gone.
seem like it goes.
Yeah.
Also not
Chocolate dipping sauces in cups
Yeah,
just does not seem like it's good.
that shit's
Like
just
getting it from,
that's just
like-
Nutella. That's it there.
Yeah.
It looked real suspect, but I tried it anyway. Sad I didn't get the purple Whopper. I'm gonna have to go back and try. I did get Uncle Fester out of it, so 8 out of 10 Burger King experience. I did get a Whopper Junior because I was hungry. And
Well, is the Whopper? You saving that for later over there, Travis, or you just done with it?
I'm about to drive up there real quick and take a bite out of the other side. Just to
dude,
see
I'm
what
so
I have.
curious.
I paid $12 to piss myself off and gross
Oh my
myself out.
god!
Dude, Burger
That was
King's
$12.
expensive, man.
Mhm.
Yeah. If you don't order on the app, they get you.
I couldn't. It was out. It was sold out.
Yeah, every Burger King I tried to order on the app said it was out. So Southern Indiana really did a number on that buy one get one free coupon for those purple Whoppers. Everybody's gonna be a poo and purple for like the next 3 days.
There's going to be a massive food poisoning outbreak there soon too.
Whopper Junior, solid sandwich.
So have they said, does this one turn your shit different colors like it did in the previous ones?
That's why I wanted to review it. I was going to be
Oh,
hands on for this.
I figured
I'm going to finish it and I'll let you know.
I figured Reddit had already been all over this and had already said whether it did or not. So, all right. Well, I would say I'm sorry I missed out, but I'm not. So
I don't think you missed out, dude. But be sure to check out New Stuff Cafe on the Nerdy Reads podcast for more food and beverage reviews. We kind of go a little bit more into it. Everybody tries it for the most part. I think this week we're going to do Dua Lipa's weird Diet Coke cocktail that went viral.
I have no idea what that is, so I'll have to. That's
Diet Coke, jalapenos, pickles, jalapeno juice, pickle
I
juice,
saw that.
more Diet Coke, and then you garnish it with jalapenos and pickles.
Ugh, heartburn.
I don't.
See, we try everything at the Nerdy Reads podcast, man. Throw it at us. We'll do it.
I don't know.
Stomach of steel.
Yeah.
The last thing I had that had jalapenos were those. I think they're made by Lay's. I don't remember, but they're the Lay's kettle jalapeno chips. They
Those
taste like
sound good to me.
they taste like nothing. Like they have like a very very small hint of jalapeno, but that's about it. So
You guys dissed one of the best chips of all time on your chip rankings when you dissed Funyuns.
I put that at an S tier.
yeah,
At least one person was riding for Funyuns.
he put it as S tier. I don't know. I can't get behind. They're okay, but they're definitely not one of my favorites. Have you tried the queso ones, by the way? You wanna really have your
Tastes
Funyun
like
experience go down? The queso ones are absolute shit. Like they are really really bad. So
I did see the ramen noodle ones, the spicy chicken ramen Funyuns when I was on vacation, but I wanted to like enjoy my trip, so I left them on the shelf.
yeah, I saw the queso
I've been
ones and
looking
like
for those.
Ava likes them, and so I bought them, and I was like, hey, let's try these. And I ate one, she ate one. I was like, throw them away. She's like, yeah, weird. Nobody's gonna eat those. I'm like, yeah, that's what I thought. I was like,
Valid.
it's absolutely terrible. So, all right. So the first thing is, are we just getting old, or are games just not as good as they used to be?
I think we're just getting old. Honestly.
I feel like more and more games are getting bad reviews because
Yeah.
they're either not complete or there's a game breaking problem, or something. Star Wars got pretty shitty reviews. And I forget what other game came out.
Hey,
Macho Man down there. What other game came out?
Hey, first off, dude, I'm gonna agree with Jake. I think we're just getting old. I think when we were young, like we kind of grew up with gaming and the evolution of gaming, and we're never gonna have that like Mario 64 experience again. We're never gonna have that like the first time you played a PlayStation. Wow, the first time you played a PlayStation 2 game, like you're never gonna have that graphical leap again, and you're never gonna have that type of, like the first time you play a 3D game. So
100%.
I
We
do.
started on left to right, and then you, like you said, you went into Mario, and it's like a whole different world.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, like we're not going to get any new evolution, but like I feel like games are at a point now where people don't try, and like we just get half-ass shit thrown together, and then we get DLC to complete the game somewhere.
Yeah, there is some of that, but like I would argue that today's games are a lot better than games when we were growing up. Like we just have a lot of nostalgia for things. Like for instance, Uncle Fester, NES Fester's Quest. I think I liked that game when I was a kid. That game sucks. Have you tried to play that game today? It is terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I know that games from like when we grew up don't hold up like they did then, but I don't know. I just feel like we had more to pick from. Like even when like the Xbox One launched, when we got into that console generation, I feel like there were still games to play. But
well, there was still evolution in gaming then too. Like you mentioned Xbox One, straight from Sega Dreamcast, we had like SegaNet. And you're just like now getting console gamers getting a little piece of what PC's been doing. Like you get to play online. So the Xbox was real big with Halo 2 and Xbox Live, and granted, PlayStation 2 and Sega Dreamcast had this first. Xbox kind of perfected that online gaming formula for consoles, and they took it to the next level with Xbox 360. Like, all that stuff exists now. So now what we're getting is just games performing better. I mean, obviously, they look beautiful, and they just run smooth. It's like a lot of stuff you kind of take for granted now, that if you go back in the day, it's like, you know what, dude, I do like my console games running at 30 frames per second or 60 frames per second on my TV when they look like The Last of Us 2 remake or remaster and Returnal and games like that.
I mean, I guess it's like the same thing with books and movies and TV shows and all that. That I mean, eventually you run out of things to write about. So I mean, we just kind of get the same type of things, over and over and over again. So, or we just remaster something that was old and call it new. That's the new thing. That
I'm
and then
still
like
only 20 minutes into that, by the way.
I still haven't started it. So, I paid for it. I planned on playing it the day that it came out, and I just haven't started it. It's on my list of something to do, and I mean, I want to play it, but I don't know. If I sit down to play something, like I'm either, playing through more of Zelda or, just something else, and I'm just like, I'll get to that eventually, and I mean, I'm sure it's good. I mean, I know it's just a remaster, so I mean, it's nothing that I haven't seen before. But I mean,
yeah, I know that you mentioned DLC and like games come out and they're like, hey, you got to buy Xbox, get the season pass and all this stuff, and it's very like, how can we keep players like in our game longer with like little goals and stretch goals and all that stuff, little hooks to get them addicted. For a lot of hate that my brother Travis up there gives to the Nintendo Switch, when you buy a Nintendo Switch game, for the most part, you take this little bitty cart and you put it in your Switch, and guess what you get? A complete experience without a day one patch, without having to buy anything extra. You just get a game and you're off to the races. And it works as soon as you put it in there.
Nah, gaming peaked with WWE SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. It's all been downhill since.
Well, I mean, and the crazy part is like, I mean, Nintendo doesn't remaster games, but like they do like recycle the same things over and over and over for every new generation. But they do it in a way that it feels new. Like, I mean, we've had, I'm sure that it's more than 15 different versions of Mario Brothers, the side scroller. But I mean, we have them for, you know, Game Boy Advance, 3DS, Wii U, Switch, you know, like it's the same thing over and over and over and over again, but it feels new and different every single time that you're doing the exact same thing. And I feel like they do it in a good way. A lot of other companies don't seem to don't really seem to be able to replicate that. So I feel like it's either BR or microtransactions in almost every single game that you.
I mean, you could think. Who was it? Bethesda with Sky? No, not Skyrim. It was Oblivion with the horse armor. The first company to be like, "Hey, dude, for $5, you can put some armor on your horse," and people started buying it. And then from there, all these other developers like, what else can we charge for?
Get shit out of $20 skin on Fortnite every single day.
True downfall of gaming.
Well, I think Overwatch really screwed things up whenever they had all those loot boxes and all that, because they were like one of the first people to get. I don't know if they got like
they did get a lawsuit, but they did bring mobile gaming to console in a big way with those loot boxes.
Yeah, and so I mean, they were just basically like, and people were just gambling. I mean, that's just people were like literally just getting on to and just buying hundreds of dollars in loot boxes, and they took it out for a while. I don't know what their resolution is. They're back now. I mean, you can, you know, you can't sit and spend endless amounts of money on them, but you can get a certain amount of like currency to get one in the game. So
I feel like Halo was when I first got download like the DLC maps. That's the first one that I can remember.
But see, like stuff like that, I'm cool with. Like back in the day in Halo 2, like when you had to
4 maps,
you had to buy a Microsoft Points card because like that was the only way that you could like purchase these things, and like you felt like you got something when you get on and get, you know, 4 or 5 new maps to play in multiplayer for. I mean, what was the equivalent? What was the equivalent of $1,620?
Well, dude, that's my point too. I'm happy we went away from that when it's like, hey, here's a new map, but it's 1,450 points, but we only sell you currency in 1,000-point increments, guys.
Oh yeah.
You may want to go ahead and take the rest of that currency, and you want a skin for your gun. You want your Lancer on Gears of War to like shine a little bit, like. Dude, it was so schemy and nasty, and I think the person above me actually owned every Lancer skin on Gears of War. I think he is guilty of that.
Maybe of the second one, not on the first game. I was late to the Gears of War party, but all right. So you and I, BJ, are the only people that have played Zelda. I am.
Spoiler alert! I played it.
You played Echoes of Wisdom?
Yeah,
Here we
go. You go into a dungeon, you do things, you leave dungeon, wash and repeat for 12 hours. Yeah, pretty good. 3 out of 10.
No.
I don't even know why. I let him bait me. That's on me. I really actually thought he did. I got excited.
So, I mean, I don't know what percent you would say I am through the game. I'm like... I've got about like 60-ish% of the map uncovered. So I'm gonna say 50% of the way through the game. So
yeah, probably. Are you already going through the temples?
I did. So I've done like the main things. I just finished the Zora like big rift, but I've done like the little minor ones along the way, and you know, all that stuff. So I don't know what that equates to. I've got fucking 75 different things that I've learned, so I don't know how many there are in the game. That needs to be fixed. There has to be a better organization system.
I agree.
Other than just press a button and scroll through.
It's tough, man.
The list. But other than that, I mean, like, it's fun. I don't feel it. It doesn't feel like a spin-off type game. I mean, it feels like, you know, like it's obviously, I don't know where you would fit it into the whole Zelda timeline thing.
I don't even pretend that exists.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, it's fun. I play it, every now and then. I mean, I haven't got like time to sit down and play for, any significant length of time here recently. But yeah, I mean, it's fun. Like I said, only complaint is that whole making new things is making new things on the game is needs some type of new organization, because if I'm only this far through the game and I've got to scroll through 75 different things, I can only imagine there's another 75 more that I'm going to find that are going to make it that much worse. So
Travis is still eating this purple Whopper.
Just stop, man.
It ruined my train of thought of what I was about to say about Zelda. I actually beat Zelda. I beat Echoes of Wisdom. I did all the side quests, found all the heart pieces. The only thing I was missing was 3 echoes, and I was not about to go scour that map to find the 3 echoes I was missing.
I mean, some of them are useless. I mean,
well, a lot of them are useless. It's just like you get them. And
I use the trampoline, the bed, and the little tile that flies. Yeah.
I don't even use the trampoline anymore. I found like an accessory that lets you jump. Like basically, you don't need the trampoline.
Once you get that accessory. Well, is there more than one? Because I found the one that lets you jump higher, but I don't know if there's okay.
And then you get like a cloud, and once you get the cloud echo, you can just like kind of step your way wherever you want to go, and you don't really need anything but the cloud to get places.
Yeah, and I was taking the trampoline and piling them on top of each other, and then jumping off of one and putting the tile that flies across and just going across the map, and that's how I was doing things.
Did you get the block that like falls and raises you all the way to the top of a map?
No.
There's like a block that falls down and you jump on to ride up levels. You can actually kill that block and then get that echo, and that just opens the map wide open for you.
Oh no, I haven't done that yet. So.
Sounds like Minecraft.
I mean, it's not Minecraft, but
no, I mean, it's basically like, it is a puzzle game, but at the same time, it's not a puzzle game, because like you have the freedom to do it however you want to do it,
which is cool.
So I mean, like, yeah, there's probably this is the easiest way to do it, but normally if I see something I got to jump on top of, it's take 3 trampolines, put them together, jump on top. There's probably even the part where I got the little air thruster thing they're supposed to throw me, I'm like, fuck that, I'm not using that. I'm still going to use the trampoline. That works, and so that's how I've made it through most of the things.
Yeah, I think I have like a little over 40 hours on it to like do everything that I've done in the game and find those 3 echoes. But like when I play Zelda games, I try not to use guides. I just like to, however long it's going to take me is how long it's going to take me to figure it out. I'm ashamed to say some of those puzzles, I sat there and I was like, what the? And I'm like beating my head against the wall. My wife comes in. She's like, why don't you just do XYZ? And then it works. I'm like, you have to sit here the entire time I play through this dungeon now. You are not allowed to leave. So that's just how I am with those games. I was missing 1 heart piece, and I scoured this map. I'm looking everywhere. High, low. And she said, I'm about to just look it up on the internet for you. I'm like, that's the same thing. You can't look it up. I got to find it on my own. Finally, I broke. She looked it up. There's a random little hole in the map just in the middle of nowhere. No sign, no tell. And you got to put the little guy down that digs in the ground. He digs it up and gives it to you. How am I supposed to? How did someone find this?
How do people figure this out?
No idea. Just try everything.
Yeah. I mean, because we don't. Do they make strategy guides anymore? Is that a thing?
I think kind of wikis.
Yeah. I mean, I know like sometimes there's like collector's edition, versions of stuff, but I mean, I haven't owned a strategy guide, and I couldn't even tell you when, and I haven't seen one in. Yeah, that's dope. That's probably the last time I saw one. Is
so, found that at a yard sale.
Yeah, gave it to me for free. I haven't used a strategy guide in forever. I haven't seen one, and I couldn't even tell you when, so I didn't even know if that was a thing. But yeah, I mean, it's wild because I guarantee you the second day that game was out, somebody online probably had a full list of every single heart piece, every single echo, everything that you needed to know. And it's like, how did you find it all? Like,
that strategy guy was dope. I just want to say Twilight Princess gets a lot of hate in the Zelda community. Underrated game.
Do you want that?
If you had to pick one,
you want it?
Yes, I do. We'll talk. We'll link up, Jake.
If you had to pick the worst Zelda game out of all of them, which one?
Zelda 2 on the NES. It's not even close. Game's straight up trash. Like all these great games had these sequels back in the day that just deviated so far away from the original game. Like Final Fantasy 2, hot freaking garbage, man. So bad. Jake, you okay? Jake dying?
I hit my leg.
Oh, okay. I thought I offended him when I said Zelda 2 was trash. Like, oh, we have a Zelda 2 believer in the chat.
I tried to replay Skyward Sword on the Switch.
That's tougher. They really dropped the ball with that, man.
Not something I could make it through. I tried and I was just like, yeah, it's not doing it like it did, years ago. So
I never owned a Wii U, and I borrowed my buddy Virgil's Wii U. He's been on the show. Shout out Meth One. I borrowed his Wii U right before Breath of the Wild came out on the Switch, so I could play through. Like, I'm just on a Zelda run. I'm playing like Wind Waker Remastered, Twilight Princess, and I was like, I'm gonna play Skyward Sword again because I beat it on the Wii. It's probably the last Wii game I ever beat. So I'm going through the game, and I'm like, yeah, dude, this game's not bad. I really wish they would just make this game one day where I can play it with a controller like they did Twilight Princess, and they got rid of the waggle and all that crap.
You don't.
So I bought it on Switch, and Virgil's going on vacation, and this has been like 3 years probably a game's been out. So I'll go up to GameStop, and I get it. And he's like, hey, dude, I'm going on a trip for a week. Can I use your Skyward Sword? I'm like, yeah, bro, I ain't going to play this. I really just bought it for collectors. I might mess with it down the line. He calls me. When he gets back from vacation, he's like, bro, they try to imitate the Wii controls. Like, you have to use the joysticks like they're Wiimote. Like, the game has still never set foot in my house. It's been at Virgil's house for 3 years. I bought it, drove it to his house, and it is still there.
Yep. That was the only one I hadn't played on the Switch. And so I was like, well, I mean, I've played all the rest of them, It's like I've beaten, Tears of the Kingdom, I've beaten, Breath of the Wild, I did Link's Awakening, I've done all of these. So I was like, let's play this one. And I was like, oh no. It's like I am not completing this one.
The thing is, it's a game that's held back by its controls. Skyward Sword's a fine game too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sure it is, but yeah, trying to do Wii remote and nunchuck controls while holding little bitty Joy-Cons in your hand is a miserable experience. So yeah, that's
how many purple Whoppers do you have? Are you eating like a bird? I just keep seeing it in the camera out of the corner of my eye.
Just one. That one I had to spit out.
Still the same thing.
Just stop, man.
Just put it away. It's terrible. We've moved on.
I'm gonna finish it. I don't care. I'm gonna finish it throughout this episode.
We're two topics ahead.
You power through it, brother.
Where do we rank
Zelda
this Zelda
fan,
game?
I rank Echoes of Wisdom. Oh, out of 10, just 10. I'll give it like a solid 8.5.
I was gonna say 8. So
yeah, I give it an 8.5.
I think it's a time guy.
Hey, dude, love it.
Oh yeah, not 100%.
That's probably my favorite, and then probably Game Boy.
Link's Awakening. Is it Link's Awakening or the Oracle games?
Just the Link's Awakening, and then probably Majora's Mask after that. I
love that game too.
Majora's Mask is a classic.
It is, dude. It's like, to me, Majora's Mask, one of the original roguelike games. I know you do, and it's wild to me that you hate that game. It's so unbelievable.
It's not. All right, I guess it's not that I hate that game. It's just like, for me, that is the equivalent of what you said is like an original game, and then the second one coming out, and it just being so. Like for me, like Ocarina of Time is probably my absolute favorite Zelda game that's ever been released. And then for Majora's Mask to come out and be like, yes, you can fix one of my major gripes with the game is like, here's a timeline. You have to beat it in this amount of time, which is stupid. Should never be in any game. yes, there are ways around that, but like I don't want to be told what to do in a video game. Like if I want to go and fuck off in a corner for 2 hours, let me do it. You know, like don't tell me, oh well, hey, now because you wanted to go explore and you wanted to do this, now you're 2 hours short on the time that you have to beat the game. So
I get it. You do get a song later on that really kind of lets
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. There are ways to fix that, but like I mean, like the same thing with you know, the echoes and all that stuff. Like I'm setting up trampolines, jumping over trees and shit just to reveal this much of the bottom of the map, just to see if there's anything down there that I may need. So like I don't want somebody to tell me like, hey, I know you did that and you had fun, but guess what? Now this is the repercussions of
all
you
right.
doing
So for the sake of your all's runtime, I love Zelda. I can talk about it all night, so I'm just going to end it on this. Have you or Jake? I know Travis hasn't. Have you played Link Between Worlds on the 3DS?
Yes.
I have not.
I think the handheld Zelda games kind of get like lost in the mix when people are ranking them. Link Between Worlds is as good as Link to the Past. It is as good as all those Zelda games.
I believe we brought this up the last time you were on the
I will.
I will
stay in that game.
What's the dual pack? That's the Oracle.
Oracle Seasons, Oracle of Ages.
Yeah, Seasons and Ages. Those two I really liked as
I like
well.
them too.
So I thought
they're hard too, really man.
Yeah, I remember sitting there with my little fucking Game Boy, little light before there was an actual light up screen, you know, playing those, and yeah, those are fun. All right, so what are the top 3 horror games that have ever been released for any system?
Mine's easy. Personal preference, obviously.
All right.
Oh,
Friday 13th.
Oh, here we go. The NES one or like the newer one? Okay.
Xbox PS4. Number 2, probably Resident Evil Biohazard. And then number 3 is going to be Until Dawn.
Oh, yeah. You all continue. I can show you one of them. Hold on.
Who's got a counter? I know somebody's got Resident Evil in there. The first one.
I have Doom for the PC. Just that classic where you're moving through and it's like a squared off boxes. That was just something I played growing up. Left 4 Dead. I enjoyed Left 4 Dead.
That's a good one.
Yeah, dude, just going around, that was fun. Where you kind of had to like work together in the group
up on the witch,
or and even then, go on.
And then Dead Rising 4. I love Dead Rising 3 and 4. I think just where you had to like you had to find like the schematics, whatever, build the weapons, and then just go to town on some zombies, dude.
Which Dead Rising launched on Xbox One? Was that 3 or 4?
I think it was 3.
So
I think it was 3.
I remember it being a launch game, and my buddy bought it, and I got it, and we were co-oping it, and I will never forget, dude, the zombies are running at us, and he shoots a gun, and we didn't know what it did, and the zombie comes running in with a dildo stuck to its forehead, and he's like, unicorn. I still have that freaking video clip somewhere. Killed me, dude. Dead Rising's a good shout.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Is it my turn?
Yeah, go ahead, dude.
All right. These are in no particular order, by the way.
It's a great game.
But I just happened to have this one, so I was just like, I got to go find it real quick. The Fatal Frame games.
Yeah.
I don't really have one that I would pick out of them.
2, but go on.
Yeah, is the best one. Is there 4 or 5? I don't even know how many.
Might be 5.
There's one on PS5 right now. It's on sale.
Yeah, see, I don't even know.
By the way, I'm done with the Whopper. I can't do it.
But the same people are not. And then I mean, you got to throw Resident Evil in there. I would say I think the GameCube one is probably one of the more iconic ones.
The remake or 4?
4.
Oh, that remake is hard as shit. You gotta set the zombies on fire to kill them.
Yeah, the Crimson Heads. Yeah, I will echo everyone here and say Resident Evil. I don't think Jake said Resident Evil, but I'll say it for him. Resident Evil. I don't have a particular game in the series. I guess if I had to pick one, it'd be Resident Evil 2, just because of nostalgia. And I have a deep love for that game, and that remake's fantastic. But if somebody wants to argue Resident Evil 4 is the best game in the series, I won't die on the hill that 2 is better than that game, because 4 is great. Silent Hill. I don't know how you can have a list like this and not bring up Silent Hill, especially Silent Hill 2.
If I didn't put Condemned, Silent Hill would.
Yeah, Silent Hill. And my last spot, dude, I don't even know if it counts because it was a demo. PT. I don't know if you guys got to play PT before they took the demo off and you couldn't download it, but it was one of the scariest survival horror games I've ever played. Like jump scares, just the atmosphere. It was Hideo Kojima's game. Hideo Kojima and Konami like split, and then it was it Guillermo del Toro and Hideo Kojima's like Silent Hill game they were gonna make, and they released a tech demo called PT.
Yeah, I remember that. I didn't get to play it, but I remember like it was, I mean, hyped up for as much as it could.
Hyped up for a reason.
And,
it was
and then they they killed it. So
yeah.
All right. Well, I didn't get to hear everybody's, but did everybody give?
Yeah.
3 different ones. All right. So we all did we all watch Saw, or at least get a small recap for the movie?
No, I did my best to do another good review for you.
Yeah,
I loved your Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
You got
one,
bullet
dude.
points, I'm sure. So
your Texas Chainsaw Massacre was chef's
well,
kiss.
we will let you go first. Go ahead and give us the
once again,
bullet
scary
points.
movies are just not my thing. I'm just not a big scary movie guy. Just even scary games, it just doesn't do it for me, kind of thing. Saw, I remember I'd watched it. So when I started watching it, it started like coming back to me. But and it's just like being chained up or like trapped in a space. I can't do it. It's like when you go and play hide and seek. As soon as I hide, I gotta take a piss. It's happening. So it's like I gotta pee before I play the game, kind of thing. So they're chained up and everything, and I'm just like, yeah, dude, I can't even imagine like waking up being chained up with the atom and the one sky. But then the first thing the dude does is when he's like, check the toilet. Dude sticks his hand in this fucking shitty ass toilet. And he's like reaching it out. Dude, I'm like, I'd be throwing up all of that in ever. Poop is something I don't deal with. No. Poop, nope, out the window. Let's see. When Singh dies, the Asian detective guy, dude, that was intense. I felt bad. I was like, man, to go out like that with the tripwire Jesus, that was intense. What's my next part?
I remember during that scene, I was talking to my wife and I said, technically he's not really a murderer. I said, because like he hasn't actually killed anybody. He's like, these people are really killing themselves. And then he went through the tripwire and I was like, oh, okay. Well, I guess now I was like,
yeah,
technically we've now crossed the line into him being a murderer. So
I would have definitely poisoned the guy with the cigarette. That guy got on my nerves from the beginning. You're dead. Zep, the guy that plays Zep, he always looks like that crazy, like you can just tell he's the bad guy or the crazy person. He just looks like he needs to be killed off. I don't know if it's just like his hair or his face structure. Just annoying to me. I did like him in Lost. He was good in Lost. Let's see. Oh, when Zep shoots Danny Glover's character Tab or whatever, I was just waiting the entire time in the movie. I was just waiting for him to say, "I'm too old for this shit." Just waiting for it to happen. It never did. When Gordon crawled out of the bathroom, I was like, "Dude, he's gonna make it. He's gonna make it." And I guess I went ahead and spoiled myself and to see if he actually survives. And I guess he's in a future movie. Spoiler alert. I didn't want him to die. I like Harry Uluz. I can't pronounce his name, but he's a good guy. Impressed. It was really impressive that what's his name laid on the floor that long in the middle of the room.
Yeah. Nobody noticed.
I'm like 10 minutes. I'm fucking aching and oohing and ahhing. Like I can't do it. It ain't happening. And he did it for like 17 years or something. It was forever.
17 years.
It just seemed like forever. I mean, it was like at least 6 hours. Dude, if I saw a jigsaw puppet, that puppet in my house when I walked in, I'm backing out. I'm calling for backup. We're going in deep, and motherfuckers are dying. Like, I don't know. If you see something that's not supposed to be in your house, why do you keep going in? Just back out of it, dude. I don't know. Especially
we've established no logic in horror movies.
Yeah, I know. But it's so hard to like watch because I'm just like I'm picking it apart the entire time. That's probably why I'm not.
It's great.
With it. But I mean, I still enjoy it. I still get the thrill. Like I understand they make the movie, and I still get the thrill. That's it's supposed to be induced inside you, but like the entire time I pick it apart. Let's see. So that's pretty much the end of it for me. It's not as much as the last one. No. But I tried doing it, giving you all my best.
The first Saw is not really a terrible movie by any stretch of the means. I really kind of X'd out myself out of the franchise after I want to say Saw 2. Because when I started watching Saw, I was like, I don't know if
there's only 8 more after that.
But so like I couldn't remember if I'd seen Saw. And then when I started, I was like, okay, I actually went to the theaters and watched this, but it's been 20 years
I was wondering
or whatever.
What the fuck you were doing with
wow.
forever. Move your head just a little bit.
No.
I
want to see it.
In the toilet, dude. It would make sense that they made 8 of these movies because I looked it up out of curiosity. Saw 1 had a budget of $1.2 million and it brought in $100 million. So when a movie does that, it's like automatic. It's like, all right.
That goes back to my point of like back then. Don't you remember going to the theater and like having to pick what movie you wanted to see because there were 2 or 3 good ones that were there? Like, I don't feel like that's a thing anymore. Like that,
just Avengers Endgame, and then that's it.
Yeah, like I mean, I think I couldn't even tell you the last time I went to the theater, to be totally honest. So
I'm gonna go Smile 2 this weekend. I'll probably regret that. But Saw was directed by James Wan, and that dude went on to do like Insidious, The Conjuring, like just a run, dude. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's killing it.
Saw is like kind of what put him on the map.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't remember. I mean, I knew I had seen it and I'd seen it in theaters and I'd probably watched it sometime in between there as well. And I remember me and Travis were talking about it and he's like, would you remember the big twist? And I'm like, I don't know what you mean by the big twist. I was just like, I kind of remember certain parts of it. And I'm like, they kind of know each other and, blah, blah, blah. And then like the instant that I turned it on and I saw him laying in the middle of the room, I texted him and I said, I just started it. I remember the big twist. I was like, he's not dead. I was just like, I remember. I was like, that's what you're talking about. He gets up, he walks out, he says, game over, blah, blah, blah. Dude, it's like, it's all coming back to me now.
Same thing with me. I was like, okay, I've seen this and I remember this. And what is the guy from Predator 2 and what's Ben from Lost doing here? Yeah.
Yeah. I can't, well, I mean, I say that now, but I'm sure if I turned on the second one or maybe even the third one, that I would remember, most of those 2 after. I don't remember the last one I've seen. I know I saw like up into the point where you actually get to see behind the mask and, it's basically him. He's dying of, I think he has cancer or something. I don't remember exactly what happens, but one of the girls in one of the movies, he like tries to have her save his life. But that could be 3, 4, 5, 6. I couldn't tell you.
Have you all seen
Which
all of
one?
these movies? Every Saw?
Like I said,
I've
I
seen
don't
all
remember
of
the
them but
last
one.
I think the first and the second one. That's it.
I don't know. I don't remember what the last one I saw. I think I saw 1 through 4 is what I want to say I've seen.
I have a
Did you guys
platinum trophy
notice
already.
the date on the flip phone in the movie Saw?
No.
Oh, it's September 11th.
September 10th, 2001.
September 10th.
Oh,
That's right.
wow.
Yeah.
So that next day was going to be a doozy regardless.
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't pay no attention.
Yeah, I never noticed that either. That's wild. I did play the Saw video game. I did get a platinum trophy on it back when I was a trophy
Wait,
chaser.
the first one or the second one?
First one.
That game is which one's the expensive one?
I think both.
Yeah, but one of them's more expensive than the other one. Whatever the 360 one.
I think it's the second one.
So the game, what do you just have to like cut your leg out off or something?
Do you actually have to like do like a quick time event, put your hand in the bowl with all the needles?
Yeah, you
Oh my
gotta
God.
like play mini games and stuff to get out of it. I think I played
In a
that
video
game too,
game.
but I don't think I got 100% on that, but I do remember playing it. So, well, Travis, obviously you've
I just rewatched all of these like last year.
oh.
I mean, if you like your torture porn,
That's tough for me, man. That's like Saw and
that's all it
Hostel.
is.
Did
I
Hostel
can't-
come out
I
before
don't-
Saw?
Hostel 2, I turned it off. We were like
No,
5
Hostel
minutes
came out
in,
after Saw.
started
It came
shooting
out
the kids. I said, we're
Yeah.
done. Me and the
I
wife.
remember watching Hostel 1 in theaters and being like, when the flip happens, I was like, what am I watching? Was that Eli Roth who did that movie? I can't remember.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't care for movies like that. And then like these Terrifier movies, I know Terrifier 3 is all the hotness. I really like Art the Clown. I think he's a fantastic slasher villain. Like the parts leading up to the kill are so cool because it's like just creepy, suspenseful. And then it just goes so over the top, it almost pulls me out of it because it's not my thing. But I watched both of the first two movies and I was like, dude, when he kills the one girl and gets the salt out and it's like seasoning her up a little bit after he's already like mutilated her, I'm dying laughing. I'm like, there's no way the third one's worse than this. So I messaged Travis and I read 2 sentences and went, okay, it's worse. And now
A lot worse.
I have to go see it.
The first and second one, I believe, are on Prime. Of all places,
Brutal.
I was kind of surprised that they were on there.
Hey, look for my name in the credits of part 2.
No way. I'm gonna watch it
It's
tomorrow
there.
just because. Hey, shout out to my work for not having any type of like blocks on things. My second monitor is gonna be fired up.
Well, yeah, because it can't be this anymore apparently. So, so the retailers are canceling the PS5 30th anniversary orders. I don't really know if they're doing that or they're just saying that to like save their image. Cause like, there's been a couple companies before that have been like, hey, we're canceling bot orders, new ones have opened up for, all of those, diehard fans that actually wanted one. I think that they're just making more of them because they feel like they can squeeze more money out of them. Because when this was first announced, it was just said that, what is it? PlayStation, the actual PlayStation website was going to be your place to be able to get them. Well, then all of a sudden they popped up on Amazon, Target, Best Buy, Walmart, everywhere else afterwards. So I assume that was always the plan, was to make it seem like it was going to be impossible to find and then release it at every major retailer that you could possibly.
Yeah, but
know,
like, weren't they
Is
numbered?
this the one limited? Yeah.
Well,
Is this
that's
12,000?
that's just the Pro. The Pro
okay.
is the only one that's limited. But the 30th anniversary just by itself it's just a slim with gray color and their original thing. The part that makes it even worse though is I was unaware of this until I think the day they were getting released. Is like in the picture they show you the console, the controller, your little keychain, blah, blah, blah. They show the console, and then next to it, they show the cover for a disk drive. Well, they made it seem like when you buy this for the disk drive price, you were getting a disk drive. Well, it's just a cover that's in gray. So when you want to go buy the disk drive for another $80 on top of it, then you can put the cover that matches on top of it. So
Robbery.
not only did they charge you an extra $100 for it to be gray, they took your disk drive away. So you're paying $100 for a paint job, and you have to buy a disk drive, which, by the way, are sold out, and you have to buy them secondhand from scalpers on the internet at this moment. I thought that Sony learned something from their PlayStation 3 pricing, but now it's just like a big fuck you. We can do whatever we want to do because we've sold X amount of consoles. And
why wouldn't you just put a 4070 in your gaming PC? You know what I mean?
What is that?
Because that would require people to build something or buy something. So
I get it. Consoles are like ease of use, and you don't have to worry about stuff. And I actually want a PS5 Pro, but
they're in stock.
I have a wife and 2 kids, and that ain't gonna happen. So there it is.
I mean, it's just not worth it.
It is worth it, Tyler. It's always worth it.
In maybe a year when there's a reason.
I'm playing devil's advocate. I would never pay $700 for this.
I mean, the problem is like a lot of the features that they're marketing, there's not enough things to make it worthwhile to use. Like HDMI 2.1. Is HDMI 2.1 better than HDMI 2.0?
There's a difference.
Sure.
I don't even think I have HDMI 2.1 on my TV.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, is it better? Can you run games at 120 hertz instead of 60? Sure. But what fucking games are you going to run? Well, why don't you run down the list and look at all 16 Call of Duties that take up, 40% of the list. And then there's a Tomb Raider. Yeah, there's a Tomb Raider game here and there, and just random. A couple of the MLB games do it. Fortnite, Apex. There's a couple things on there, but it's like, okay, now are you going to buy a more expensive TV or monitor that has HDMI 2.1 on it, and then you got to buy new HDMI cords because the regular ones don't allow you to do it. So I mean, it's an investment of at least $300 or $400 more than your average, TV or monitor for something that isn't really worth it.
It's just a hobbyist thing. You know what I mean? Like I guess it's your enthusiasm level for the hobby you're doing. Like if you're really into PlayStation and that's your thing, dude, and you want the latest and greatest, you're gonna buy that thing.
I mean, it's like the PlayStation boxes. When they first came out, they had 8K, on the box, and it's like, who owns an 8K TV? It's like nobody.
Yeah, it's all relative.
It's like,
is your pre-order still good, or did they cancel it?
I mean, mine was good. I mean, I just canceled it because I can go on. They're still in stock, but that was my thing. Is like, when I got one, I was like, oh, like maybe I can resell it, and then I looked and I'm like, oh, this shit's still there. So I was like, well, this isn't worth anything. So.
Well, it's a bold move releasing this at the price point they released it at in a market where it's like, what was your big PlayStation 5 game this year? Astrobot? Or what else came out on PS5? I'm sure I'm missing something. But like Silent Hill 2 remake was a PS5 exclusive, or is it? I don't think it is.
Well, I mean,
thought it was for the first year.
Okay.
Well, no, console wise, it is exclusive, but it's PS5 and Steam. So like PC people have it. But
who's
like
buying
Xbox,
a PS5 to play Silent Hill 2? Like, what I mean? Like, you either already have one and you get it. Like, where's the system seller? Like, what are you showing me on PS5 Pro? Like, what is the Mario 64? What is going to make me go, I need this system for
NBA
this game?
2K with the last PlayStation bundle. Like, that's their selling point, is a game that comes out every year.
Like,
I mean,
Nintendo Switch launched with Breath of the Wild. Like, you could buy the Nintendo Switch and Breath of the Wild, and you got your money's worth off the rip. There hasn't been a video game released on the PlayStation 5 that is near as good as Breath of the Wild yet.
I would say that
you ain't play RoboCop.
I could.
No!
I would say that I could count on one hand the amount of games that have been worth a shit that have been PlayStation exclusives since the PS5 dropped.
Returnal, Astrobot,
God of War.
Oh yeah, God of War, Ragnarok was great. What else you got for me?
Yeah, you got to Google exactly. you don't know because like there's just, I mean.
Oh, here's one I forgot. Ratchet and Clank is a good game.
But see, I mean, then you got two games that are remakes of, or not remakes, but just another entry in the series, and Ratchet and Clank and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I can't even argue it, dude. I mean, I'm looking at it right now. Like I really enjoyed Marvel's Spider-Man 2. I did think that was a fantastic game, but it is very much Spider-Man 1.
It's same. It's
just
same
prettier.
I couldn't get through it. So,
but Returnal is a very unique and original game, and it's still one of my favorite PS5 games to this day. It's fantastic.
What is what's the Walking Dead look-alike PS5 game?
No idea.
No, the guy Daryl Dixon or whatever. Everybody said that the main character looked like him.
That's a PS4 game, Death Stranding.
Yeah, they're supposed to be making another one of those, and I don't know why, because I didn't think the first one was very good. But
I've heard some good things from some people. I've heard if you're like a Metal Gear guy, you'll like that game.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean that's what I said. Like I mean we're on what, year 4 of PS5 or yeah, and
next month.
Yeah, and
I mean, there's a lot of great third-party games, but you can get those everywhere. So it's like,
yeah, that's my thing. I mean, you're talking about console sellers. You know, it's like what's gonna sell the console? Like there's very few things that you can walk in and be like, I want to get a PlayStation or Xbox, really. You know, for this particular game. Like it's just. And then now that everybody's just like mixing and matching exclusives, you know, like, I mean, we're having Forza come to PlayStation, the Indiana Jones game that's supposed to be coming out. That was supposed to be an Xbox exclusive. And that's now apparently
exclusivity doesn't mean anything on Xbox anymore. They put everything on PC day and date. They're trying to recruit Game Pass, you know, cost, get people sub up. You can throw Xbox exclusives in the trash. Yeah. That's gone. They're going to be everywhere.
Well, so we touched.
We can all agree that PlayStation is ass.
I don't think that's
telling me to buy one, or even
I don't
get
think...
it from my son's room and play it.
What's your what do you play on? PC gamer?
No, I'm a Xbox guy.
Oh, word. I like Game Pass. I think it's the best value in gaming.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to eventually play PlayStation. I'm going to play it. I just haven't yet. Eventually.
Yeah, it's I mean, I wouldn't. There's not enough for me to recommend you go buy a PlayStation.
No, I'm just going to go. I'm just going to take my son.
Oh, there's enough to go get like not the PS5 Pro.
No, but I'm saying he's got an Xbox. So I'm saying like there's not enough for me to say like this is worthwhile for you to go spend $400 or $500 on, like, because then once he plays those 5 games, what's 100? We're just doing $100 a game and just saying, you know, there's 5 of them.
I guess it depends on how much you like single player
games. $100 a game, and I mean.
I put a lot of value in single player games because like I have very limited time to game these days. So like I was able to cram through Zelda with so much time because I was on a road trip. I took my Switch with me. I can lay in bed and I'm falling asleep. I got 30 minutes. I'm like clearing out a part of the map. Like the Switch in handheld mode is a very convenient way for me to play. When it comes to like PlayStation, it's like I have to sit down, turn it on, sit in my living room, try not to fall asleep when I hit the couch because I'm old. I get up at like 5:30 a.m.
I mean, you could buy a Portal.
I actually thought about it, no lie. But then I knew you would heckle me, so I left it on the shelf.
No, like I feel like it serves its purpose, but its purpose is like the equivalent of what buying a VR headset would be to me. Is like, yes, I have it. It's cool, new shiny toy to play with, and like, look what it can do. Watch this. I'm gonna use it a couple times, and then I'm gonna be like you said, laying in bed. I want to play a little bit before I go to sleep. I'm gonna slide that shit under my bed, and then forget that it's there, and I'm gonna pull it out the next time. It's gonna be dead. I'm gonna have to go charge it, and then I'm probably gonna forget about it, and it's just gonna sit there.
I guess it works similar to the app I have on my phone that lets you remote play to your PlayStation, and I have done that before, specifically with like Final Fantasy 14. I'm laying in bed and I'm like just like gathering. I'm not doing anything like serious. I'm just like crafting or something, and it comes in the clutch. But I don't know if the Portal's worth it just for me to like get my gathering levels up on an MMORPG, man. But I do want one. I want a Steam Deck too. I'm just waiting for the next iteration.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll wrap things up with the try to do something new. Find different things to put on here. So we'll do a hot take, and we'll save the Xbox sucks for whenever Dylan comes back on. But for this one, it will be.
That wasn't on mine. I didn't get those notes.
It was multiple endings in games is a terrible idea.
I can see the end. I can see the benefit of it, though. I don't always agree with it. I'd rather just be.
So I'll say this with context. Multiple endings in games, if you can finish the game, reload a checkpoint, and do something different, and get the other one, cool. But if you have to start the game from scratch and replay, like Red Dead Redemption 2, for example, I absolutely love that game. But there is no way in hell that I'm going to sit there and play through that entire story and get one ending, find out I can get another one, and then sit down and play another 40 plus hours.
Does it have multiple endings?
Yeah, it's got 3.
Oh, wow.
Based on honor and stuff.
Yeah. Oh. And so that's why I'm like, there's no way in hell I'm going to sit down and replay through the whole entire thing just to get the other ending, right then. Maybe somewhere down the road, but like, finish the game. You tell me how it ends. I hate things that are left up for interpretation. Whether it's a movie, TV show, video game, whatever. Like, it's just like when Travis got me to watch The Sopranos. Thought it was a fantastic show. Got to the end, text him. I said, "What the fuck was that?" I was just like, he's like, you got to figure it out. I'm like, no, that's not the point. I'm paying for this. You tell me what happened. I get enjoyment. You get recognition. That's how this exchange works. You don't tell me, make it up. Like, no, that's not what I want to do. So
look, I rarely finish a game once. I'm not doing it twice.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's I think it's I don't think it adds the replayability to a game that some developers think that it does. So, I mean,
I can agree with that.
I grew up in a time where games were few and far between, and when I got a game with multiple endings, I was happy because then I could prolong the life of that game. Like Chrono Trigger, one of my favorite games of all time. I think it had like 11 endings, and it was a Super Nintendo game. And, going through and getting all those endings was really cool. Back when I had limitless time and no responsibilities. And now I still like to play RPGs, but like say the Persona franchise, one of my favorite ones, they have a new game out called Metaphor. I have it loaded up, ready to go. I'm sure that thing has multiple endings. Persona 5 is a good example of this. You have all these decisions you have to make, and it's overwhelming at a time, but you have a way you have to manage your time and what you're doing with your social links and all this stuff. You could have one conversation with someone on a day at a specific time, and it will completely lock you out from like ending A. So like if you want like the best ending in that game, you almost have to follow a spoiler-free walkthrough of some sort to see the perfect ending or watch it on YouTube, because you are going to mess it up. It's
who wants to play a game where you're playing the game and you go, oh wait, hold on. Oh no, don't want to do that, and then you do another little.
Well,
oh shit! What do I got to do now? And it's like, no, like I don't want to do that.
People
like,
with limitless time love that stuff. Like I just don't have limitless time.
Children?
So, yeah, like so when I start Metaphor, I kind of I'll probably just play it blind, no guide, mess up the ending. My buddy who has it also and loves it right now, I'm sure he's going to tell me how great the real ending is, and then I'll go to YouTube and watch it because that game's like 80 hours.
That's what I remember when Travis finally finished Red Dead Redemption. He said, "Did you know there's multiple endings?" I said, "Well, yes, I do actually." I was like, "Because I've got a platinum on this game." I was like, "So I'm fully aware of that." And I said, "You gonna restart it and figure them out?" He said, "I just watched them on YouTube," and I'm like, "And there you go."
Were they different enough to make it like worthwhile? Like, was it actually cool?
It's a different cutscene. That's all that happens. It's not like the story doesn't change. It's just based on what you do through the story.
It's a different ending for Arthur.
Yeah. So either you get to see, I mean, the game's been out long enough for you people that haven't played it. I don't give a shit if you haven't or not. So the way that it ends is you either get to see Arthur, he dies of tuberculosis or whatever. There's another one where he just gets to sit on and watch the sunset, and like everything's supposed to be, happy ending. You did a good job, blah, 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 blah. So
word.
Or you get the one I got where I got shot in my face.
Oh yeah, that's the other one. So there's like a
Nice.
there's a really, really good honor one, a really, really bad honor one, and one in the middle. So it's
dope. I like multiple endings in games, dude. I just don't have time for them, but I don't have any hate in my heart for it. I do hate when I get like a bad one and I know I got a bad one. I'm like, oh, this sucked. And then I go online and there's like an infinitely better one that completely changes the story. And yeah.
I remember I cared about that in Mass Effect, talking to people and doing certain things. But after that, like, I'm just like, I'm gonna play the game. I'm gonna do what I want. Sometimes I played through Red Dead Redemption. There was a stranger. They needed help. I helped them. Sometimes there was a stranger. They needed help. And they said a few choice words because I accidentally hit him with my horse. And dead eye, boom, 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 fuck you. Like, it's like,
hey, man, I hit you with my horse. You cuss me? Hop. The West, homie.
Well, we ain't got nothing else. So we will we shout out all your things last time, but you all got the Nerdy Reads podcast. And are you all still doing when does the newer anime episodes come on now? You all have we're on a roll there, getting them all out, and then it's turned into sporadic. So
I'll give you a rundown. You can find us at the Nerdy Reads podcast. We release every single Thursday or Friday, wherever you get your podcasts. We're also on YouTube. This past week, we did a Goosebump book, Shocker on Shock Street. We talked the book, the TV show. Really awesome. We're going to have another Goosebump episode next week with a local author named David Coomer. He writes the Misery House series. He's going to be on. You can find us at Anime Tofu. We release those on Wednesday. We have reconceptualized this show. We actually recorded 2 new episodes last week that we're going to put one out next week and this week. And we're meeting again Sunday to record some more. And then the other show that we have is Optic Blast Broadcast. It's a comic book show. They release every other Tuesday.
So what is the new theme of the show? Is that
Anime Tofu, where you watch one episode and we tell you, hey, like, is this a show we would continue based off one episode? Anime is weird, man. There's a lot of stuff out there. I love anime, but I don't have time to watch like 900 episodes of a show. And
this is very true. And it's very hard to convince people that haven't ever watched anime to watch anime.
Right. Well, I think if you're trying to get into it, now's a great time. Dragon Ball Z, great shout. My favorite anime of all time.
Yeah. If I was to sit and to tell somebody about My Hero and, they have no idea, what I'm talking about.
That's another good show. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Ava's 12 and she was watching Death Note the other day. And
love that one too.
I just walked into her room and I'm like, are you watching Death Note? She's like, yeah. I'm like, look, carry on.
I think if you're not into anime, it's an older anime. It just came out on Netflix. It's like 72 episodes. That's all it is. 72 start, finish, you're done. It's called Monster. And it's about a neurosurgeon who chooses to save the life of a kid instead of like the mayor of a city. Well, that kid he saved grows up to be a serial killer later in life. So the whole show is this neurosurgeon trying to track this kid down who's now a serial killer and stop him and like come to grips with the moral decision he made to save a kid over an adult. And then what happens with your psyche when that kid grows up to be this like terrible person. Really old anime, but it's on Netflix. They just put it out there. Fantastic. Just based off some of the TV shows I've heard you all talk about on here, I think that one is probably something you could get into.
Yeah. It's almost like a weird Dexter type. I mean, somewhat the same. Not the same. Not all the way, but
Do we?
All right.
Do we do the movie giveaway? Are we supposed to do that today?
No, so that we're picking on Monday.
I wore this hat just for that purpose.
I think. Are we supposed to pick it on this episode?
Yeah, we'll do it the following.
Okay.
Yeah, I was saying. I made it.
Put the crown back on.
I made a post. I can't remember the dates that I made the post. It might be before this episode comes out. It might be after. I really don't remember. All right. Well, our links for everything will be in the description as usual.
Quick edit. You're making a side video,
yes,
and announcing the winner on the 18th.
Okay.
Oh, so that's tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Can we pick a movie for next week to review?
Go ahead and check out Skinamarink. You're welcome.
I don't know. I don't think
I have a feeling. I have no idea what that is, and I don't know if I want to know what that is. So.
I had to watch it for our podcast this past week. It was.
You don't want to watch it.
It was an experience.
Thinking about it, just trying to say the word.
It's a tough watch, man.
All right. Well, we will figure out the movie. I'm sure Travis has a list of movies. We only got two more that we can
Last Night in Soho. There you go.
All right. Well, our links will be in the description. If you haven't tried the purple Whopper, just watch Travis's face throughout the episode, and it will probably
Don't do it. I'd rather fucking be in that Saul bathroom than eat that again.
I'm gonna get one.
You're gonna be in that Saul bathroom.
Yeah, your toilet's gonna look like that toilet
in about 2 hours.
Yeah, so if you thought about getting it, just watch Travis's face throughout the episode, and probably give you a good answer on whether or not you should do it or not. And if you are a Burger King connoisseur, you'll look like the person underneath me with your crowded glasses. But yeah, and so until next time, goodbye.
Bye.